And welcome to From My Mother's Basement, the show where we talk about anime, manga, video games, tech, sci-fi, comics, whatever we want. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
So how are you doing tonight, Michael?
I'm doing okay, wondering if there's a glitch in the audio on that opener or not.
We can always fix it in post. We're always good like that.
Did it last week, we can do it this week.
Exactly. So you actually have some new tech with you. You got a new mic, didn't you?
My new baby.
Thing is nice.
My sound's going to go weird for a minute, so hang on.
Okay. Ooh, shiny. That looks like one of the Yeti Pros, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
You only know that because I told you.
I gotta sound good on the show, you know?
Yes, it is a Yeti Pro, and it's a good little beastie. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it, but my sound quality is a lot cleaner. So, and I have a mute button, so I can do this. And you'll never hear me swear.
Okay, I guess that works. Now, does it actually do as XLR and USB, right?
Well, you should mention that too.
Well, I'm just giving you. Ow.
The nice thing about the Pro versus the non-Pro.
No, you did not.
The non-Pro is not is USB only, whereas the Pro comes with an adapter to do stereo XLR. Where's the camera? There we go.
There you go.
Very, very handy. Very handy. So it's one the way one reviewer put it was it's worth the extra money because if worse comes to worse, it's a mic you can grow into. Rather than if you buy the standard USB Yeti and then you want to move up in the world and you're like, oh, I want to go through a soundboard or whatever. You can't. So that's kind of why I went that route. Okay. Eventually I'm going to bring my Mackie up here and be a little more that route.
Get the whole studio going on there.
Yeah, get the whole studio rocking, as it were. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it because you notice I have my regular headphones on. I don't have the thing in front of my mouth anymore. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully it all works out well.
Okay, cool deal. So what should we start off with this week? Because there's actually a wide variety of stuff we have planned.
I got something fun for you.
All right.
For those of you who use Twitter, I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday in the early afternoon, Twitter got sluggish, is one way to put it. Didn't go down, but it got very slow. The reason being is the part that's funny, is it basically boils down to don't mess with the people with the pointy needles and lots of yarn.
Wait, knitters took down Twitter.
Yes, it was the knitter versus Twitter. And actually, it wasn't versus Twitter, but apparently they've got the Ravelry, which is a really big knitting website, for those of you who don't know. They're in conjunction, not much in conjunction, but in the spirit of, since the Olympics are this year, they're doing what they call their Ravelympics. Okay. And your colors just shifted on your camera. And they're doing what they call the Ravelry Olympics. And some intern at the Olympic Committee, the U.S. Olympic Committee, got wind of it and wrote them a C&D. Now, normally, a C&D is pretty boilerplate and can be blown off to whatever, but no, this guy went in and added shit and
really
basically just ripped into him. You're violating our copyright and we gotta do this, we gotta do that, blah 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 blah. So Ravelry responded really well, and a bunch of knitters, all the Ravelry users, got pissed and started sending emails and Twitters and everything to the U.S. Olympic Committee. U.S. Olympic Committee said, okay, our bad, we're sorry. You gotta, but you guys understand that we have to, not unlike a certain HR person that I had to deal with in this in past, you understand we have to protect our copyright and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. But if you guys want to donate these things that you're making, et cetera, ad nauseum, at which point you'll have to go to Ravelry's got the letter listed. Unfortunately, I don't have the exact wording on it.
Okay.
But basically, but it's not behind me on the screen that I can't read.
All the tech in Michael's room.
Yes, all the tech in my office, which is not all mine. They basically came back and said, yeah, fuck you. And so, yeah, the moral of the story is don't piss off the women with the sharp, pointy sticks. Which I think is really awesome. It's definitely worth checking out. And, oh, wait, I just got pinged on this. Did I just get sent the link? Oh, there we go. So, it's nuts.
So Knitters really took down, that's funny. You can't...
The Knitters, they didn't take it down, but they definitely got its attention.
All right.
So it's Knitter versus Twitter.
All right. Well, I want to talk about something that I sent you a link to. No, I'm not going to take your catchphrase out of it, but it's still freaking cool.
Oh, that, yes.
Yeah. So there's this security company in Japan that's created a new network monitoring program, and it's called Daedalus. It stands for Direct Alert Environment for Darknet and LiveNet Unified Security. Bit of a mouthful, but Daedalus makes it all much better.
It also sounds like a big, evil, ominous AI.
It really does. The really cool thing about this is the GUI, the graphic user interface that they created for this. This thing is incredible. I'm just gonna play the video in the background without any audio, just because it just looks amazing. Let me get that going. So what this is, come on, there you go. So if you see this, it kind of looks like an anime or something out there.
I was gonna say, at first when I saw this, I'm like going, "Oh, geez, somebody watched Ghost in the Shell." Yeah, I mean, this is totally and the fact that it's in Japan just kind of cements the deal, right?
It really does.
Somebody was watching. Oh yeah, the subtitles on it are the Japanese guy they're interviewing. But basically, this is the precursor to the Ghost in the Shell interface for the internet, for the interwebs. It looks badass.
It really does. The fact that it's in real time, when you click on those alerts, the red alerts that were showing around the edges, those actually show the pingbacks of where those were actually jumping to in terms of IPs. So you can actually follow a virus or any sort of intrusion in real time. Mm-hmm. Kind of cool. Go ahead. I was going to wait for the fact that give this a couple months, and this comes out actually being used in the market, and I'm sure some hackers out there will find a way to bypass this and make it look like everything's okay while I'm raiding your hard drive.
Well, there's that also, but it's also a matter of time, because if this interface takes off in another 5 years, it'll be the Ghost in the Shell interface.
It really will be.
And then it'll just be a little further down the line. We'll have the little Tachikoma zooming through, doing their thing. You'll be sitting there talking, all of a sudden you'll see this little...
Can we have that now? It'd be so nice. I really want a Tachikoma of my own right now.
We know someone who's building one.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit.
But it's really cool. It's a great way, and it makes sense, because you look at the way these. I mean, real time monitoring of cyber attacks is nothing new.
No,
the technology to do this has been around forever. Mm-hmm. It's the interface that makes this so dynamic. It's the fact that if you can, do you want it on the screen?
Yeah, I can put it right there.
Okay. If you look, go ahead and pause right there if you can. So if you look at this, every one of those threads that you're seeing on that screen is linked to an IP. And so the idea, and all those little yellow kanji with the red circles, those are alerts. So, I mean, if you were looking at this in an actual NOC using today's technology, all you've really got are what looks like a giant spreadsheet, and something starts flashing, and you can very easily get lost. What this does is it collates all that data and attaches it so that you can go, oh, hey, there's an alert on this link. Bink, where does it go to? You can click on it, and it brings up the details of what that IP is. And they were saying in the interview for this thing earlier, or in that video, that you can tell if it goes to an IP that's not being used. So if someone's spoofing an IP or botted a box or something, it's a way to track that down.
Yeah, it's going to be really helpful. Anybody in a NOC for this, especially, what do you think? Like I said, a couple of months, maybe even more so a year down the road before this comes widespread, or longer than that?
Well, no, I don't think it's going to hit. It's not going to go outside Japan for at least another year or two.
Oh, okay.
Because they were talking about releasing it in the interview to some Japanese ministry of something. Ministry of Anime Interfaces or something. I don't know. And
Daddy Chu has a new role with the ministry now.
God, is there anything that man doesn't do? Then they're giving it to free. They're giving it free to educational institutions in Japan. And then I figure it's just, within a year or two after that, you're going to start seeing it roll out into the educational institutions worldwide. And then it's not going to be much farther beyond that where you start seeing it industry-wide. I mean, I know the company I work for on my day job, if they got presented something like this, they'd probably jump on it, I would think.
Well, let's hope. Of course, then again, you got to think about money and licensing to make sure it works and all that stuff.
Well, exactly.
But that's boring for a show. Once money
gets in the mix.
There you go. Well, let's talk about some new tech that actually recently was announced. It hasn't come out yet, but recently announced. I'm talking about Nintendo. I'm not going to talk about the Wii U. We already talked about that.
Yes.
I want to talk about the new 3DS that was announced. It is of no surprise that Nintendo has been a staple in the video games industry. Therefore, they know how to suck every single penny out of the consumer's pockets. And, I mean, good example, Game Boy. How many iterations of the Game Boy were there during its lifespan? And I'm talking Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, SP.
Before they went dual screen?
Yeah. Before they went for the 3DS.
Oh, God, there were at least 8 or 9 different ones.
And then a multitude of, full rainbow of colors.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise they're going to continue that trend with the 3DS because they announced the 3DS XL. And of course, it's bigger than the original 3DS. The size of the main screen is kind of impressive. It's a massive 4.88-inch screen.
Yeah, they said it was like, what, more than twice the size?
Well, yeah, 90% larger than the original 3DS in terms of the screen size.
Which is freaking huge.
It is, but there's no word if it actually has a higher resolution. We're not talking Retina, but we're just talking...
I'm going to guess it's not going to be.
If it's anything like the DSi XL, the one that came out a couple years ago.
Well, the DSi XL didn't increase res. That's just it.
Exactly. It was just a very low pixel density. And of course,
they spread the pixels out. Yeah.
The touchscreen itself is also, increased in size.
That, I think, is cool.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's a little more sensitivity on that this time around. Though.
Well, that's what I'm hoping is because if they're going to increase, I'm hoping that if they're going to increase the sensitivity or the resolution anywhere, yeah, on the screen would be nice, but then but that comes at a cost of processing power.
Yeah,
a significant cost in processing power. Whereas if they increase the sensitivity of the tablet portion, it's not as big of a processor hog.
True.
As the video output's going to be.
We'll still see where this goes on with that. I mean,
it's enough to almost make me buy one.
And especially the price point, $199.
Yeah.
$199, and the U.S. fans get something the Japanese don't for once. This bundle comes included with a 4 gig SD card because now they have the Nintendo online marketplace. So you can download virtual console titles and whatnot. It's nice to have that on the go, and it's nice to not be stuck to just a home console for that.
But that brings up a question: is that are they standard SD cards? I.e., case in point, I've got 3 or 4 16 or 32 gigabyte SDs lying around.
I believe so.
Digital photography. Can I just pop one of those in there?
As far as I can tell, yes.